In today's episode, the Rover 600 series. Hello, welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the Rover 600. Yes, if you're new to the channel, here on Quartzlight, we'll look at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. So if you do find any of that kind of like niche quality of YouTube of any interest, then please do consider subscribing. So we've been looking at this 1993 full range Rover brochure. An interesting range of cars. Last week we looked at the Rover 800. Today we're looking at my favourite, the Rover 600. So let's throw that on the board. So here is the brochure we're looking at. Rover, today's cars, dated July to October 1993. That midnight rather likes Rover 600s as well, so she may pay us a visit throughout this episode. Anyway, yes, the Rover 600 came out in 1993, so you will find it featured not only on the front cover, but we do get extra content for the Rover 600 as well. I'm going to get straight on with it. Let's turn to the Rover 600 pages. It starts with the news. So yes, very often in car brochures you get something called the news or what's happening, particularly with Rover. You've had this for quite some time. So Rover News is all about the new Rover 600, of course, because this is the new exciting car of the range, of course. Obviously very closely tied to the Honda Accord, bit of a reskin of the European Honda Accord, but I always found them far more interesting than the Honda Accord, I must admit. I don't know if I'm going to read all of this, but let's have a look to see what it's saying about this new model before we actually turn to the proper pages for the Rover 600. First of all, it's giving you a bit of a quote here. The Rover 600 series, an accomplished, distinctive saloon built in or to world-class standards of quality. Power is delivered by two 2-litre 16-valve engines of 115 PS and 131 PS and a DOHC 158 PS 2.3-litre 16-valve unit. Handling is crisp and responsive, and then we've got a little bit of a engine image there as well. So I'm just going to read a bit of this text. It's a bit waffly, so I'm not going to read all of it, but it kind of like introduces this new model by saying the new Rover 600 series is a prestigious British saloon which fully reflects Rover's industry leading design and technological resources and its total commitment to customer satisfaction. So we certainly start off very waffly. It says amongst the top priorities was the requirement to design and build a car which would provide nothing less than world-class standards of quality. Did it make it? Well, certainly the Honda side helped greatly. And then yeah, it just gets very waffly, but these quotes kind of like summarise what it's talking about. It says, providing a superbly designed driving environment, the Rover 600 series is also exceptionally accommodating with generous space for passengers and luggage. The perfection of panel fit and finish defies the closest scrutiny. Build quality is outstanding, bearing comparison with the finest in its class. I never owned one of these, so I can't confirm or deny that that's anything other than what it was, but I'm not entirely sure how good these were. Certainly better than Rovers of old. I must have confessed that I always liked how Rover did their interiors. Nice to add a little bit of wood in there, as we can see on the doors as well. I always thought it looked slightly better than what other manufacturers did. And of course they threw Rover badges on there wherever they could. But I think the main thing I liked about the Rover 600 was it was just a good looking car. Front or back, I think it was very well designed and certainly probably one of my favourite of the sort of modern Rovers. So this car was really there to replace the Montego, of course, which was a very aging design by this this point, of course, but I also think they was trying to go obviously more upmarket than a Montego, so they did leave a few basic Montegos in the range, which we'll see later on, there for more fleet reasons, I would imagine. The main problem with the 600, of course, in terms of replacing the Montego, there was no estate. I don't know why they never brought out an estate version. I think that was always a bit of a miss. The Rover 75 then actually eventually replaced this car, although I much preferred the design of the Rover 600, I have to admit. The Rover 75, obviously it picked an old Rover name, the 75, and of course they went for that elderly looking design. Never really got it really when it came out at all. I think it kind of like makes more sense now in sort of like the classic car world. It fits more that sort of stable really than it ever did as a new car, but that's just my opinion. But where was I going with this? Oh, okay, estate cars. Yeah, so we had to wait for the Rover 75 really to get an estate version in this sort of like class of Rover, which always seemed a little bit weird and possibly a little bit short-sighted. I think they could have styled quite an attractive estate car or station wagon, whichever you prefer to call them. Anyway, let's turn to the Rover 600 pages proper. Well, actually, before we get to the pages proper, actually this Spotlight and Rover news continues. So let's have a look at some of these images. Various different untitled variations of the Rover 600 range. We also get these little images of obviously the different colours that the seats came in, and obviously different qualities as you went up the range. It says, larger than other saloons in this class, the Rover 600 combines a dynamic modern exterior style with excellent passenger accommodation. Levels of refinement are exceptional, largely the result of the smooth power units and an extremely strong, well insulated body structure. There we go, it tells you there really, at this time they was looking for a modern exterior style. There was certainly a change in direction when the 75 came out, and then it continued with some more of these different variations of the seat. Another look at a front shot. Another rear side shot, more interior this time, kind of like promoting the auto, and then we've got the body shell itself. But I think now it is certainly time to move on to the pages proper. So this is the pages proper. This is what comes after the Rover 800 as it's going through the range, down the range essentially. So it tells us each new Rover creates a new and exciting vision. I like the colour actually. We'll read the text, come back to more images, lots of images for the 600, but remember this is a new model. So it tells us those who have earned the privilege of driving the Rover 600 series will enjoy many rewards. The pressures of the working day melt away, even before you enter the luxurious interior. There are so many refinements to welcome you. On most models, a touch of the remote control both disarms the anti-theft alarm and unlocks the doors, and you have the reassurance of knowing that many other security features have been protecting your car in your absence. Red LED warning lights mounted in the top of the front doors and in the car stereo system flash to warn that the car is protected. Slip into the driver's seat and look around you. Every detail satisfies. The tasteful burr walnut veneer, the high quality materials used throughout, with the finest leather, handcrafted in Scotland, creating the unique ambience of the most luxurious models. Enjoy the atmosphere of calm assurance, a car that is more than equal to your every demand. You'll be comfortably isolated from the most tedious traffic conditions, soothed by the quality of the BlankPoke in-car entertainment system. On the most exclusive models, the system provides additional features such as fascia-mounted tweeter speakers and Dolby noise reduction. Radio Data System (RDS) is also available with FM frequencies. The RDS facility displays the station name as well as the frequency and gives access to automatically broadcast traffic news to help you avoid time-wasting delays. For the ultimate in sound quality, the top-line blank punct music system also allows you to specify, at extra cost, a boot-mounted CD auto changer with 10 disc capacity, a listening experience that could well tempt you to take the longer route home. Then we get lots of little quotes from various different motoring press. This one's from Auto Express, April 93, for of course the Rover 600. Classy newcomer knocks rest for 6. The 600 is distinctively different. Boot has chrome trim, round number plates, one of the many neat styling touches. This one from the Sunday Times. The 600 is fast, good looking and quiet, and fits comfortably in Rover's tradition of quality and good taste. Before I get to the last quote there on this page, I must apologise for all the weird noises in the background. The cats are absolutely crazy today. I don't know why. They're spinning around all over the place. I know sometimes you do see the cats in the images. Midnight's already paid us a visit, but I think every cat has paid me a visit. Incidentally, I've also got a dog, but you never see the dog because the dog, as soon as I start recording, goes underneath the desk and just stays there until I've finished. But the cats don't have the same respect, so I do apologise for the noises. Hopefully it's not upsetting your listening and viewing pleasure too much. Anyway, let's get back to this quote. This next quote is from the Daily Express. Rover wanted to turn heads, and after navigating around the Oxfordshire countryside, I can confirm it did. It is agile, powerful and extremely comfortable too. But, you know, no matter what car ever came out, if you took it round and nobody's seen it before, people are going to look at it, but doesn't mention that, of course. Moving on, we get, of course, that familiar Rover grille. The back end, I like the boot design and lights, and of course that bit of bright work around the number plate. I think overall it looked very tasteful actually. What this picture is really telling us and what the text is telling us is it's got a power operated aerial. And then we get not the best picture, to be honest with you, but it's telling you in this picture is the 623IS and the Rover 620 GSI. And then the main picture itself, unfortunately, falling heavily on the crease. You know, I don't know why these brochures manufacturers do that. It's always going to fall on the crease and make it look weird. So put a picture here or here. Don't do it like that. Anyway, let's turn the page. Oh, I've actually just seen the very small writing. This is actually a 620 GSI. Certainly the complaints about these type of brochures in the 90s is it'd be much nicer, wouldn't it, if it was separated out into the different spec levels and went through that. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll continue reading the text, we'll read more quotes, and then we'll come back to these images. So it starts by telling us, take your place in the driving seat of the Rover 600 series and you'll discover eager power that is also uncannily quiet and smooth. The exceptional refinement owes a great deal to the use of twin balancer shafts, which counteract the rotational forces of the crankshaft, located within the engine block. Though these shafts rotate in the opposite direction to each other at twice the crankshaft speed, providing extremely smooth running comparable with 6-cylinder and V8 engines. The suspension, also independent, double wishbones front and rear, gives excellent control of both wheel and body movement and excellent high-speed stability. To optimise steering response, speed-sensitive power assistance is used on all Rover 600 models. Disc brakes are fitted front and rear, with ventilated front discs for additional efficiency. Further supported on most models by an electronic anti-lock brake system. Whilst the driver has the reassurance of knowing that the Rover 600 series incorporates some of the most advanced thinking in the industry, This sophistication never interferes with the purity of this essential design concept. The Rover 600 series will give you a driving experience in a class apart, because, above all, it's a Rover. So more quotes now. So now we're looking at the Yorkshire Post, apparently. That's well-known motoring journalism. The exterior is elegant and exciting. The interiors are bespoke and beautiful. You need to drive it only a few miles to love it. The engines are first rate. The transmission is flawless. The handling as poised as the best sports saloon. Wow, they really went crazy on it. The main problem with these journalists testing the car for probably, I don't know, an hour, is you don't really get a true representation of the car, unlike like long-term tests, of course, or feedback from owners themselves after 10 years time. Because it's a new car, it seems fantastic, doesn't it? But issues there were, I'm sure. Anyway, moving on. Moving to what car now? So the interior is no less impressive. Climb into the driver's seat and the immediate effect is one of spaciousness. Yes, the 600 is larger than much of its competition in its class. More from what car? The overall impression is one of quality. Elsewhere, the 600 is superbly laid out. The well-planned ventilation and heating dials are easily within reach. So another image now, again it's unlabelled, so we don't know exactly which spec this is, but certainly a nice colour for the 600. Oh, I tell a lie, it is in tiny print, so that green one was the 620 SI. This one is the 620 SI automatic. This is your optional CD player, and this is actually the interesting 2.3 litre twin cam engine. Moving up the range then, this is going to be your GSI interior. Apparently this has also got optional air conditioning fitted on this particular example, and we can just see that it's an automatic as well. This is your 623 SI and a 620i. I like the seats in it actually, because obviously this would have been a lower spec model, but still I do rather like it. So once again, specifications too small to show on camera, but I'll show you which models you could get at this time. So a 620i, 620 SI, 620 SLI, a 620 GSI, a 623S, and a 623 GSI. And those are the three different engine choices. 1997cc, two of them, and then the larger 2259cc. And then performance ranging from the base 620i manual 0 to 60 in 10.1 seconds, top speed of 123, and with the greater PS, so 115 compared to 131, so the more powerful of that engine, doing a 0 to 60 in 9.5 seconds, top speed of 125. And then moving up to the 623i with the manual, doing a 0 to 60 in a very respectable actually 8.2 seconds, top speed of 134. And then colours, quite limited actually, surprisingly, in this year. Solid colours, you can just get white, diamond or black. Clear coat metallic, you can just get British Racing Green. And then the pearlescent, Nightfire Red or Caribbean Blue. So there we go, the Rover 600. Personally for me, they were always my favourite of the modern, so-called modern Rover range. But let me know what you think about the Rover 600. Next week, of course, we're going to look at the Rover 400. Keep the views coming in, always very interesting to read your comments. In other news, this is actually the last time you're going to see this background scene, because we are moving. Hopefully there shouldn't be any sort of interruption in the episodes, because at this stage I'm about a week ahead, so I've basically got a week to settle into the new house and get the internet going, so fingers crossed that works out. But yeah, this should be the last time you see this background. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. As always, please do consider subscribing. It is all completely free and always will be. Also, don't forget to like this video. In this box I'll add what will eventually become all of this brochure, but if you missed last week's episode, that's where you'll find the Rover 800. Up here will be a random video, but thank you so much for watching today. Please do take care. Come back again soon. All the best and goodbye.